we're already beginning to understand that good logos identify a company or a product in a way that's recognizable and unique and memorable. So, I have a metaphor for you for logos to really drill home everything that we're talking about. Actually, I've got two metaphors for you, but here we go anyway. Here's a metaphor for you. I want you to think of a logo like a person or like people. Oftentimes, we're told that the trick to remembering someone's name is to match their name to some kind of unique attribute about the person or a unique characteristic that the person possesses. Sean is short, or Brenda has brown hair, and so on. Logos, as a matter of fact, work the same way. What's something unique about the product or the company that we can associate the logo with? Is the product silky smooth? Is it tough and durable? Is it fast and simple, right? These sorts of characteristics of the company or of the product can be worked into the design of the logo. And this is something that I really want you to think about as you start developing your logos. So let's continue with this metaphor of thinking of logos as people. Let me ask you this. Does the name of a stranger, someone who you don't know, does it matter to you? Think of it this way. You're at a party or some kind of a social event, and there are people kind of mingling around who you've never met before. You haven't been introduced to any of these people, and you haven't spoken to any of them yet. At this point, their names don't matter to you. They don't really matter to you because you're not interacting with them and you haven't been introduced. But let's say you do get introduced to someone. And let's say that you hit it off and you begin chatting. You get to know the person and perhaps you even become friends. Suddenly, their name becomes very important to you. And this sort of analogy that I'm giving you here is exactly what I meant in the previous exercise. A logo from a market or from an industry that you and I are not in or that we're not interested in is completely meaningless to us unless we develop an interest in that area. Then, if that logo becomes a brand that you and I prefer, then it begins to mean something to us. We look for it, once again, when we're out and about, when we're out shopping. Okay? So that's the first metaphor that I have for you, thinking of logos like people or people's names. Okay? Here's another example for you, or another metaphor for you. Do you know what poison ivy looks like? We get tons of it here in the warmer weather in the summer here. And so I have to show it actually to all the kids, my nieces and nephews, even the neighbors' kids, this sort of thing. I have to show them what poison ivy looks like so they can avoid it if they see it. A poison ivy leaf is a logo. It's a marker. It's an identifier that says stay away unless you want to be in agony for days. Thankfully, I have not had it, but my son got it. It was terrible. So this is sort of the opposite of a logo. We don't want to get attracted to it. We want to be repelled by it. But the point still stands. The leaf is the logo, and it's saying stay away. There are lots of different types of vegetation where we live, just like there are lots and lots of products and logos all over the marketplace. So there's noise out on our property in the form of vegetation, and we want to be able to identify one specifically and pick it out of the crowd, just like we were doing in those earlier examples with Planet Hollywood and the fellow standing behind or beside the blue street booth. Exactly the same idea. We want to be able to see it, identify it, and know what it means. So there you go. Hopefully this is helping you out with understanding exactly what logos are for.